Hello and welcome to Las Blancas Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Las Blancas. I'm your host Yash Thakur, and we are back with another episode. This time, fresh off the back of reaching Champions League quarterfinals once again, back to back years, guys. Um, we we were facing Tenerife, a side that is usually very tricky, very annoying to play against. They have their own defensive regime that they have going, play with a back five and a line of four as well. Sometimes play a little, don't want to use the word dirty, but have their dark arts sort of. And this game is always a little frustrating, even though we were playing at home. So that was a little different. If we are playing away, that is a completely different game. And this season, Tenerife themselves are doing quite well. So it was going to be a tricky fixture. And we came out winners. We came out winners. We scored twice and we kept a clean sheet as well, which was great. But there are some other concerns from this game that we will discuss about. And to do all of that, as always, I have Kanita with me. Kanita, how are you doing? And happy Ramadan to you and everyone else that is listening. I hope everyone has a blessed month. So, yeah, just take it away. What
Yeah,
did you think of the game?
yes. Thank you also, Ramadan Kareem from me. Also, happy Lent, happy Chinese New Year. There's a lot of holidays happening at this time. So, yeah, it was like Tenerife games are always so tense. Like you mentioned the word dirty, but they're always like that. Like I remember from the very first season that we were facing them, it was always something with them. I mean, obviously at away stadium, the state of their pitch and all that, but also they weren't any better on our pitch either. So yeah, that continues. That tradition unfortunately continues. So yeah, let's just go into it.
And I mentioned briefly that Tenerife have been having a good season. So this season they are in the top four. Before this game, they had only conceded 14 goals, which is the same number of goals that we have conceded. And they, although there's an 8 point difference between them and Real Sociedad at the moment, but they are firmly ahead of Atleti as well. Atleti are in sixth this year, and if they manage to somehow get past Real Sociedad, they will be in the playoffs as well, which is quite a big deal for a club that did not have a men's side associated to them until recently, that used to play on a turf field not long ago. And they were promoted like 7 years ago, and they have consistently finished in the top 10 since then. So they have been you know uh, as a side who has gotten promoted, and then their performances, it has been very consistent, and they have their own style. They have their own, they sign a particular kind of players, the particular profiles that they like in the attack, uh, which is quite nice. They had Christian Martin Prieto not long ago, who used to score headers for them. They had Gift Monday, who used to play for them. Now she plays in the NWSL. So a lot of the stuff happening, and they have consistently, even though there have been turnovers, they have managed to somehow keep performing. This season in particular, I think has been quite good for them, even though they lost their manager at the start, who is now managing London City Lionesses. So quite fun this year. If you look, like, I think a couple of players from them have always stood out. So I'm just giving them their due before we get into what actually happened in this game and why I wasn't a big fan of the quote unquote dark arts in this game. But this year, I think Natalia, we have spoken about her as well in the past when we have faced them. Natalia Ramos, quite good player, plays as the deepest midfielder, has scored some 6 goals, has 3 assists to her name as well. It's very good in recovering possession. Then you have Paola Hernandez as well, number 6 from them, who has been shifted out to play as the wide midfielder, which isn't her best position. But in the past, we have spoken about how good she is playing in the middle in those in that double pivot role alongside Natalia. So yeah, I mean they have some good players, but I think in today's game, it was entirely dominant performance from us. So I'll quickly go through our lineup and then we'll talk about how the game panned out. So we had Misa in goal, Eva Navarro, as always, starting at right back. Then we had Maria Mendes and Lacrar starting as a centre back partnership, and left back, which keeps rotating based on what game we are playing or on a weekly basis at this point. We had Sarah Holmgart starting as our left back. Then we had a midfield three of Toletti, Angeldal, and Sara de Brits, which looks like a pretty standard one with, maybe Caroline Weir sometimes stepping into it. And then in attack, we had Atenea, Naomi Feller, and Linda Caicedo. So Caroline Weir got her little rest in this game, did not start the game, and we started with Naomi Feller up front. Kanita, initially, any thoughts on the lineup? I think it's a pretty strong lineup. Did you think that why XYZ players started, or were you pretty happy with the selection?
Yeah, I mean, this is almost our strongest one. I mean,
Yeah.
well, yeah, almost our really starting one. He usually plays Yasmin as a starting left back. I mean, he decided for that, and depends whether he starts Feller or Redondo. Lately, Feller has been starting in big games like both Clásicos she started. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, for a reason, it was a strong lineup because, as you mentioned in the beginning, Tenerife are not to play with. They're a
Yeah.
tough team to go through, and yeah, I mean, after that Paris game, we finished the job and all that, and another important game was ahead of us, and it wasn't okay. We'll just brush over Tenerife, so I'm glad this didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, sadly we started Linda for this, but yeah.
Yeah, you have touched upon it, and I think we need to talk about it. So it was very early on, like 4, 5, 6 minutes in, and there is a lunging tackle. Like, absolute, that was such a horrible challenge. Like a straight red. I don't know how referee missed it. Why there was even a VAR check for that? That looked horrible from the get
Mm,
go. But yeah, whatever. They took 3 minutes to review that,
mm,
and it was such a bad challenge. Like proper studs on the calf area. Just it looks so bad, and I'm honestly like concerned because you know yes, we have some important games coming up. We next up itself we have Real Sociedad who are third in the table, but also we have Champions League game coming up against Barcelona, and that is not too far away. In between, we might also have a. In fact, I think we have an international break now,
yeah.
if I'm
Yep.
not wrong. Yeah, so we have an international break as well, which is kind of good. But after that, we have some very important games. It's Real Sociedad, then it's Eibar, and then it's Barcelona. We can't discredit any of those games. Real Sociedad, especially this season, have been quite good. Eibar, we know how they can cause us problem. They did that last season. And then we have the big challenge in the Champions League where we have arguably the favorites to go to the final again, and our arch nemesis, and we want to beat them in the quarterfinals. So we need Linda for that, and that looked quite bad. She also got another blow, and I read that she wasn't able to see properly. She had her vision blurred as well. Was some reports, and she left the field in tears. She went to the bench, and then she later on went inside. So I'm not sure like how serious this is, and we are all like, we are recording immediately after the game, so we don't know what the status is, but we all can just hope that it's nothing serious, because if we lose Linda for this important final stretch of the season, I think like we will lose. We will lose probably one of our best players in the team. It's not even an argument. One of our biggest big game player, uh, and we will be without her services for the final stretch of the season. Kanita, what do you make of that challenge, and how concerned are you regarding this injury to Linda?
Yeah, I don't know why they were reviewing it so long. I don't know. I mean, even if the ref didn't see it while it happened, I mean, it only took like one replay to see the severity of the challenge. It was so like I couldn't even had to look away as soon as they replayed it. It was so. But here's the thing: there's one ounce of hope that I have that she'll be okay, because remember that Classico. I can't remember for which exact in which exact competition, but Linda was running inside the box, and Katako just uh like with her knees just slammed
Yeah.
onto her ankle, and she had to be subbed out, but she was ready for the next game. So that was good. So that's exact moment, the way how it happened afterwards. It gives me some hope. I hope the same thing, but it looks so bad, so bad. And yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, you talked about the games we have, but like if we don't have her by at least the last stretch of March, we have three Clásicos back to back from starting from March 25th, which is horrible. Three Clásicos back to back in like 10 days or something. And I really I can't yeah, it always happens like around March. Always this happens, like this is a yearly tradition at this point. But oh boy, like I don't know. Last year we lost Leopold, who was a big part of midfield just before the Clásicos, and yeah, but hopefully it doesn't repeat with Linda.
Yeah, I just looked at that horrible run of games that we have. I did not realize that it was three Clásicos. Last year, it was a Clásico sandwiched between two Arsenal games.
Yeah.
But this season, that Arsenal team has been replaced with Barcelona themselves. So we are basically looking at a very bad stretch of games. But hey, if we win even one of those, I would be very
Yeah.
ecstatic, honestly. Whether it's a first leg win, whether it's a league win, or whether it's a second leg win, it will still be quite big. So here's to hoping that we can get 3 out of 3 wins. But yeah, hope that is, but honestly, like that was such a terrible challenge, honestly. And I think this is where protection from the referees and referees being good comes into play, because Linda, in general as well, Linda is somebody who faces a lot of challenges, just due to the fact, the way she plays, the way she carries the ball, the way she dribbles past, and the way her footwork is, the way she uses her feet. I think she's very prone to having these challenges, and we have seen that in the past as well, where she's running with the ball and teams have tried to bring her down. And it is something that we can speak about, but I think it's the referee's responsibility to stop these sort of challenges. And it was so early on in the game that it completely shifted the mood. They got a red card inside the first 10 minutes. They were down one player, and that player was also one of the midfielders. So, which is again a very important part of the way they play, because they shift their backline extremely deep, and then they have their midfielders do a lot of the work. So it was kind of difficult, and then we had our fun with it, honestly. It was completely dominant performance. We had like some 80, almost 80% possession. We had some 22 shots. We had 7 big chances. So, Alba Redondo herself could have had a hat trick, to be honest,
Mm.
after she came on. So I'm not even sure like where to go about with this game. But yeah, I mean, Alba Redondo scores in the in the second half. In the first half, it ends 0-0, because I think We are still adapting to them. They are still defending deep. And in the second half, then we bring on Caroline Weir as well. So now we have somebody taking up that role of a playmaker, of somebody who is in a free role operating between the lines and playing those lines. So we got our playmaker in the second half, and immediately after we literally scored from a Sarah Homeguard assist. Alba Redondo found the back. I think Alba Redondo should have scored earlier as well. To be to be very honest with you, she hit the post. I think in the first half, and before she scored in the second. But yeah, pretty standard performance. After that, Angeldal doubled the lead inside 60 minutes. So in the first 15 minutes of the second half, we have doubled our lead, and it was like smooth sailing. They weren't looking to attack. In fact, I think I think they had zero shots in the entire game. So basically, they did not really attack us.
Yeah.
They had zero shots. They
Yeah.
took no shots at all. So that tells you everything that you want to know, basically, about how the game went on. They went into ultra defensive mode right from the start because they were down a player. So, yeah, I mean, Kanita, do you have anything else to talk about in this game before we move on to one of the big talking points, other big talking points in this game?
No, it was just that like I feel so bad like watching Alba like that. She could have had hat trick like genuinely, but you know it just wouldn't go in. This one barely got in, but there was one specific chance that I just thought it was definitely in. It was just went past the post. It was like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
but I feel bad. Like I don't think she's confident for the past few weeks, and yeah, I just want her to gain this confidence back. You know, because when she has it, then you know she's unstoppable. She's a really good striker. But this hasn't been the case. But yeah, I hope she gains it back.
And we we are going to sort of need her as well, because
Mm.
if Linda picks that injury up, if Linda is unavailable, I think we are going to use her quite more, maybe, because obviously I think Caroline Weir fills up the right wing spot if Linda is not available. Atenea moves back to the left spot, and then we have this rotation, because I think Alba Redondo will then become the first player off the bench if she is not starting in place of Feller. So, important time ahead. And I think today, if she would have bagged that hat trick that we are talking about, so many near misses. But I think it looked good. I want my striker to get into those positions, to even if it's not sticking in the back of the net. I think getting into those positions may give her that confidence that you speak about, and we need her for that, honestly. And the fact I say that we dominated this game, they lost their central midfielder, which is, again, as I mentioned, very important player. Once they lost that, they lost a little bit of control in the middle, and we were able to like exploit it, especially after we had Caroline Weir there. So we had Sarah Debris, Caroline Weir all pushing up, and Angeldal also joining as well. And a lot of our attacks were created through this central zone that we had. We were using that quite effectively. So I was pretty happy with that as well. And then I think we have to talk about one player that has been absolute, like, for me, I think, if you look past your Weir and your Linda Caicedo, I think this player has been the most improved player, arguably one of the players of the season as well. Eva Navarro, fresh off
Yeah.
the back of getting a player of the match award in the Champions League game. She was starting at right back, a change that none of us expected. Now we are very used to her performing at that level at right back, that it has become the norm, but it's not really the case. Honestly, it shouldn't be the norm. And once again, fantastic. And she's taking charge. Like, that Angeldal goal comes from her free kick, and that free kick was struck really, really well. That could have gone in. It was straight at the keeper and it was struck with so much power that she could not control it. She punched it, and then Angeldal parried it home. But honestly, like, what is going on with her? Like, I remember, Kanita, we spoke about when we started this season under Quesada, initial few games, preseason games, and we were like, this guy definitely likes Eva Navarro. He's preferring her over Atenea. Maybe she's going to start at right wing for us regularly. Linda will take up the left flank, and that is going to be our starting lineup. And now one injury happens, and we have a new right back uh, at our disposal. What do you have to say about this change and her performance today?
Yeah, it's from the very first game that we saw her as right back, which was the Roma game, and I remember that the which we won 6-2, and the coach said, the one's position we didn't anticipate was the right back. She was brilliant in that game, like from the very first game she was put on right back. And we obviously didn't have anyone else. Shay and Antonia got injured, and until now she's been performing you know pretty consistently. Yeah, like there were a few flukes, like I won't even count that classico the last classico, because the whole back line was terrible. Horrible defending from the entire back line, so she's just included in that. But there were a couple of flukes, maybe. The rest, she was great, honestly, and especially in these last two games. I mean, love that, and love to see her getting MVP. Last game, she also took a photo with her dog. The award. It's so cute. And as she should be proud. She's great. And I love how when he brings on Shay is on the right wing. We saw this today as well. But it's just you know, Eva stays. Eva stays where she is. She's the right back. She's the starting right back. She stays where she is. Everyone else play around her, and I love that. Love that for her. This has been like Ave Phoenix sort of season for her, and it's so good that Quesada, saw it in her.
Yeah, honestly, and this is I never expected it. I've been following Eva Navarro for a very long time, and she was dubbed as the diamond and all of that in her generation, like an enigmatic dribbler who can take on players, who can score from, and this very exciting player coming up from Levante, like will do lots of great things. And I always wanted her at Madrid, and I was like, yeah, we tried for a couple of years.
Yeah.
She rejected us initially. And I was like, yeah, man, she'll solve a lot of our right-wing problems. I never in my life expected that she's going to be a right back, and she's going to be so good at it as well. And I mean, kudos to Quesada for, props to him for identifying this. But it's been crazy. Like, she is influencing games from in attack. She's making defensive contributions as well. It's not just like she's just bombing forward and nothing, she's not doing much in defense. She's contributing in defense as well. She has turned into a solid defender. Her engine is tireless, and touch wood, for the longest time, I think she is injury free for a very long time now. She's able to play, and I think that was a very big, when you do your ACL, it's very difficult to get back to that style when a lot of your style of play relies on your acceleration as well. So I'm very, very happy for her, and I think this is one of the highlights of the season for me, this transformation of Eva Navarro into a right back. It's just phenomenal. And she still gets picked up I was just checking how Spain have listed her, and they list her as forwards, and maybe she'll come on as forward, but who knows, she
Fake
replaces
news.
Ona. Who knows, she replaces Ona in the starting lineup sometime. We never know. But Yeah, I mean, it's been one of the stories to follow, and I'm very happy with her performances, especially, her getting to perform in those big Champions League nights and putting on good performances and fulfilling the prophecy, quote unquote, that was said for her, that she's going to be this great player from Spain. I'm very, very happy for her, and I think this development is probably the highlight of the season for me in terms of how players develop. You think one of the players is the best winger in the world, and they turn out to be this excellent fullback option for you, and then you have one of your fullbacks turn into one of the best wingers of all time. I'm talking about Gareth Bale. Started from left back, finished as one of the best wingers. You have the reverse case here. A winger is probably going to finish as one of the best fullbacks that we have. So I'm very, very happy with her. And I think she is one of the stories that we need to, the fact that her performances have been normalized just tells you how consistently good they have been, that we are not shocked by the fact that a player that we signed for right flank is now bossing it at right back. So all kudos to him, to Quesada, and to Eva Navarro as well. So yeah, I think that was like the main talking points from this game. Honestly, like, we saw it out, a comfortable win, and I think now we wait on any confirmation on Linda's injury. I hope it's nothing serious. So hopefully she can be back after the international break, and she doesn't have to go to Colombia, so like she can stay and rehab here in Spain. And then we have that important stretch. We have Real Sociedad up next. Then we have Eibar, and then we have 3 straight Barcelona games. So, guys, it's going to be a very, very intense March for us. And hopefully, when we come out of that, we have some very good things to talk about. So, here's to hoping for a very good March for all the Madridistas. And if you are celebrating Ramadan, I want to wish everyone once again Ramadan Mubarak. Hope you have a good month. And yeah, Kanita, any concluding thoughts, or we can wrap it up?
No, I just wish an injury-free international break for all our girls. So, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that happens. Touch wood. But yeah, thank you for listening to us. We will be back with another episode very soon. Hopefully, if there's something very interesting happening in the international break, we'll try to cover it, because this basically starts up the World Cup season, or quote unquote, because it's a year away, but that phase of preparation for the qualified teams is going to start now. So yeah, looking forward to it. And until next time, a la Madrid.
A Madrid.